Welcome to Dr. Khadar Lifestyle.
I tried my best.
Oh, there you go. You need to have some.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kadaroli garu.
America, Broadway here. I was here from San Jose to San Ramon, and we saw a lot of mountains, and all are covered with grass, and they actually C4 grasses. And but for that C4 grass covering, soil would be eroded. Not by fertilizers and all this that people are talking about now, but in nature, soil erosion takes place by natural events, wind, water, sun, and the nature finds a way to protect the top 4-5 inches soil by covering it with C4 grasses. Why C4 grasses? They don't need water. They don't need anything. They can just grow anywhere on this planet. So wherever there is possibility and there is need for holding the soil for future generations. In fact, this holding the soil is for future generations. That if someone wants to grow something, the soil top 4-5 inches, even if you want to grow a big oak tree or your Christmas tree or whatever tree that you want to grow, you need the top 4-5 inch soil only. It is there that seeds germinate and the roots of the big trees take hold to start with. So without saying the attitude, the whole human race, treat like grass, because it is there everywhere. And there are 6,000 to 8,000 varieties of these grasses called C4 grasses. The reason why they are called C4 is that they start making the grain from C4 compound called oxaloacetic acid, which is a stable compound. Whereas your rice and wheat make the grain from C3 called pyruvic acid. This is the basic difference. And when C3 photosynthesis is found all over the planet in all plant systems, almost all plant systems, only very few plants follow C4 photosynthesis. The difference is any C3 plant, whether it is C3 grass or anything, needs water. And the difference between C4 and C3 is these guys do not need water. And that's why they are great. That's why they can grow anywhere. You see the difference? So rice and wheat need water to grow. The reason being, technically, scientifically, from C3 to C4, oxaloacetic acid, that particular biochemical synthetic process, if you give water, the yields increase. That means they can make more oxaloacetic acid. From there, to build glucose is very easy. So if you increase the water content while the plant is entering the sexual cycle, you make more grain. That's how you increase the yield of rice and wheat per acre from 8 quintals to 30 quintals. And because when you give water, it starts making more and more. So that's what these so-called green revolution guys said, you see, we can make more food for you. And where did they find the fertilizer? You see, the water, if you give just not enough, there need to be a lot of fertility in the soil, lot of ammonia, a lot of potassium, this, that. So they found these required fertilizers in the bomb materials they made, and it was lying down there, because every year they make bombs and they do not know what to do, because every year they don't go and drop the bombs. There has to be a war. And they find wars to be created, as now it is going on. So the left out bomb materials have to be somehow managed year by year, because they do not know if they use the same bomb next year whether it will blast or not. So that's how the concept of shelf life came into existence. So all this shelf life that you're looking, your bread, this and that, actually they don't have, food doesn't have any shelf life, you should eat immediately. But then these bomb fellows, oh, you are in the shelf for this many months and then you have to de-shelf, remove that and then do something else. Or again remake the bomb thing. So it's become very costly. So then they found, now you have a grass which grows more and gives more food. So they found this connection from war technology to food. Okay. So then they established what are called food fertilizer companies and started recycling this bomb. So you make new bomb after shelf life, give to these fellows. So go and make fertilizers and then grow this and food. And so they started, it's called Green Revolution. Then they said we have food security. Then this technology is patented. That means you use the fertilizer, you grow your food, you give us money. And this is beautiful. So fertilizer-based food industry took birth. So now, till this happened, all the people on this planet were eating these grasses because they were growing everywhere and anywhere. And the grains are so many varieties, 6,000 to, and some of the grains you could not even see. That they are called Chudra Dhanya. Chudra means something that happens like that, Chudra Gana, if people know our Puranas. That means you do not know how things happen, but they happen. So they thought, oh, this grass is simply growing, but no one knows where it is coming from because the seeds are so small that you cannot even know that there are seeds and falling. And from that, there are grains that can be half millimeter, and less than millimeter. So then these seeds are called in English milli. Milli means very small, less than millimeter. So like piglet, chicklet, millet they call. Don't laugh, that's the way it is. I'm very serious and you guys are laughing. So millet word came in English literature. I mean all throughout the world these are called millets because they're very small. The grains are small. So sexual and asexual growth in any plant or living thing. So you have first asexual growth called vegetative growth. Once the grass grows well, then it says, yeah, I'm good, strong, and then it wants to regenerate. I mean, that's how every living thing. So it starts producing inflorescence. Inflorescence is the way the flowers are arranged. And then the male and female, androecium and gynoecium, they have their pollen and ovum, they meet, and then you have a grain. When the grain is making, you have this embryo, that means a germ cell which can grow into again another grass. I mean, for that you need nutrients. So all around you start accumulating some energy. What is energy? Is carbohydrate. So first thing that make is glucose, and that's what I talked to you about C4 grass and C3 grass. So these guys have to build from pyruvate to glucose. These guys have to build only oxaloacetic acid. But how did they manage? There is a genetic shortcut to make oxaloacetic acid without water. And while doing so, they have to accumulate this glucose into fibrous conditions. And so it becomes little aromatic molecules and then becomes lignans and the grains. So here in these grains you have fiber associated with the grain structure itself. Whereas here there is water, there is no need, so accumulation of glucose is more, and you have, the grains are very big actually. C3 is some of these rice grains is like almost 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter long. And that's the difference. You understand how this is science of the grasses. And funnily, you have to give water here. These grasses, how do they grow? They need water. For any biochemical you need water. What do? They are very intelligent. They start inviting some bacteria under their grass blades, which are called hygroscopic. They start absorbing water from the environment itself. So there is no need for giving water at all. So when do you need water? The grain has to act. For that period you need some water. So when there is first 2-3 rains, this, as soon as you see in that winter to that springtime, to start having some rains, 1 or 2 rains, these grasses start growing. And in fact, in places like India, South India, North India, where there's full summer, almost summer is 90% of the year. When you have actually a pole, electric pole also, night being always cooler, so you see the water starts, and around the pole you see grass coming. Nothing else you will see, only around that electric pole you see green patch, and there C4 grasses. That means that small amount of water is enough for the seeds to absorb, soak, and then root themselves, and so they hold the soil. Now you see, when I was coming driving, that's what I was telling Divya. See how they are holding the soil. The sun can erode. The just winds, the powerful winds are eroding the soil. And then if it rains, heavy rains, if the grass was not there, your mountains will get completely barren. I mean, afterwards nothing can grow. So that holding the top 4-5 inch soil is done in nature, and that's called savannas, wild open spaces of this green saree covering Mother Earth. And this is all done by the C4 grass, and there are 6,000 varieties of them covering the earth and saving the soil. So if someone wants to save soil, what are we supposed to say or do? Grow? What grass? So, I'm looking for that. So, what do you do then? So, if you want to save soil, eat sugar, eat pongal, eat idli, eat dosa, and then come out and say, save soil, save soil. Are you saving soil by eating rice, wheat and all this? Because they are guzzling water. For 1 kilo, you need 8,000 to 10,000 liters of water. And then after you grow this rice for 1 or 2 years, race has used these millets from time immemorial. But sadly, this Western thought process, humans, hunter and gatherers, they had arrows and weapons, and which is absolute nonsense. The first thing they could gather is millet grains. So, all along, instinctive, natural food for human gut is millets. And now this is outside. What happens inside? Your tummy. When you eat millets, what happens? When you eat rice and wheat, what happens? What happens? Now, what are the differences now? This grain is associated with fiber, and our foxtail millet, whose kernel looks like foxtail. That's why it's called foxtail millet, and it is also known as Italian millet. The Alps of Italy and the valleys of these mountains and the open spaces of Italy, these grasses were growing like mad, and that's why it's called Italian millet. And barnyard. So, where are we? Foxtail, yeah. Foxtail millet has actually got, this grain is quite small, and it actually, after you dehusk, it looks yellow, light yellow, something like that, or that lady is wearing it. It has got 8% of dry fiber associated with the grain in layers upon layers, concentric layers. Barnyard millet has got 10% of layers, fiber layer. And barnyard millet is actually called German millet or Japanese millet. That means all that places they used to grow barnyard. In fact, barnyards, what is the word barnyard? You know what it is? Yeah, huge spaces where fellows go and put a shed, and then all around 20, 30 kilometers it's their barn. I mean, it's my backyard, barnyard. So these grains simply used to grow wherever these fellows were not. Now you have all these big machines. Before, it simply used to take over there. So everywhere it was growing, and they said, barnyard, oh, you throw away, this is, you say, everywhere it is there. So in our literature, trunadhanya, you just throw away, everywhere it is there. That's how the word came. Then Chudradhanya is another name, Trunadhanya is another name. And then they said it is very small, Kirudhanya. You know, if you know Sanskrit, Kiru is very small. Chirudhanya. Hindi, of course, this language came way later, so they said Laghudhanya, Mota Anaj, Chota Anaj. Among the millets, there was some were big, like ragi, it's called finger millet, and bajra, called pearl millet, and jowar, called great millet, because that was the biggest size we could see. And among that jowar, there were many varieties. Actually, 200 varieties of jowar are there in India even now. So ragi, another 200 varieties of ragi. That's also a major millet. It is, I mean, you could see it very clearly with your open eye. So pearl millet, bajra, and we have now proso millet, another millet which actually is a little different because it's a husk around that, just like foxtail millet, barnyard millet, and brown top millet actually is even today grown in Colorado, maximum. The reason being it's open spaces. Maximum sun is actually received in Colorado only compared to all the states. Though people from Texas may think they are in different parts of the, and they all are actually wonderful C4 grasses. The carbon, the carbohydrate and the fiber ratio being different depending upon where it was growing, what was the soil, nature of the soil, content of the water receiving. So even 10 centimeter water rainfall is good enough for these grasses to grow. Per year I am talking about. And if rice you want to grow wherever there is beyond 150 millimeter, that means it's 10 times to 15 times different. So that's why there was no rice, there was no wheat in the world 125 years ago. Only after, at the behest of this part, they built dams, they made water stagnant, and then huge environmental damages. And now we have 43% of the agricultural soil being deroded, unfertile lands have been manufactured by growing these three items of food: rice, wheat, sugar. So what are we eating today morning? What did you eat? Donuts? Donuts. So now if I tell you, don't eat rice, wheat and sugar, don't take milk, don't take meat. Oh, come on, boss, what else then we eat? Do you think we eat? खाएंगे क्या? And we have eliminated all the food materials, diversified food materials from this planet. In fact, this was the reason why I went back in '97 and started collecting this forgotten, not forgotten. This is the word used by these experts now everywhere. These are forgotten ancient grains. This is well planned in the boardrooms of food corporates and made them disappear. This is the real story. No media is ready to write these sentences. I have been shouting in different kinds of platforms, these are the reasons for your diseases. So what it means is if you stop eating rice and don't drink milk and don't eat meat, I can close down 90% of the hospitals on this planet in the next 3 years. Not me, if you do it. There is no need for revolution. I am not asking you to go sit in front of White House or in front of Parliament. You just go to your kitchen. It's so easy because revolutions need lot of things. They absolutely nothing. Quietly, simply go to your kitchen, start cooking barnyard handwa, foxtail idli.
Recipe.
I will give you. I have made a recipe book. It is there, you can download freely. Are you willing to go to kitchen tomorrow onwards?
Yes.
Hey, come on, Dr. Khadar, here we have GPS. They are going to order and they are going to make through cell line cultures. Dr. Khadar's birthday, Dr. Khadar can order Dr. Khadar's meat burger and it can be delivered not by Zomato, Swiggy, you need address for that. We have a drone chasing you wherever you are going, even if you are on the San Ramon and San USA highway stuck in the traffic, the drone will come and feed you. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, where has to be the revolution? First in your minds. Because you have to decide to go to kitchen or to the highway. The going in highway is fashionable. Going and cooking in the kitchen, I have no time. What do we do? What do you want to do? You want your babies to be mentally retarded, type 1 diabetes, autoimmune diseases, and keep supplying vaccines, tablets, go run around the hospitals. Where did you lose your health? In the kitchen. Where are you searching? In the hospitals. MRI scans, PET scans, this scan, that scan, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, blah, 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 blah. All high sounding words. So you lose your phone here and go and search on the road. That's exactly what you are all doing. We have had obese fellows, 100 fellows, make them eat these minor millets. 3 weeks, 3 kilos gone, 30 days, 30 kilos gone. No problem. No, come, we have fantastic advanced technology, we will suck out your fat from each and every place. Give us this much money. Step by step we have to do. Every 3 weeks you come, the whole 10 sittings, so you have no other work, go around the hospital. Keep paying the bills. No problem, we have insurance. You don't need to pay. You pay premium. All these wonderful systems, sir. Oh, you download this app. Your money will be going to the place without your knowledge. You don't need to even have OTP sending. We will generate that and we ourselves will feel. These kinds of convenient, oh, fantastic, what an advanced systems. Can we not become sick? Can we be healthy? Can we prevent all these nonsensical diseases created by our business sense rather than any science? Science should decide businesses. Now it is just the other way around. Because the scientists are not talking the truth. So millets have been our food for time immemorial. It's a blip that we have been cheated and we think that's not our food. So if tomorrow onwards you start talking about it, and you start wanting to eat, you start changing your mental attitude, I am so confident that we all, with the awareness of what to do, what not to do, in the next 10 years, we can wipe out all the diseases from this planet Earth. Because these are locally can be produced, locally can be processed, locally can be not consumed, eaten. So from consuming culture to conserving culture, from economic culture to ecological culture, we need to make the shift. It's all that human race needs. Good agricultural practices. We have actually created a lot of farmers with awareness. We have taught thousands and thousands of farmers in the last 15 years how to grow these grains. We can do that here too. I don't want you people to be importing things from India. To start with, maybe till you make arrangements of growing and farmer communities be trained. You can produce anywhere on this planet. If I went to Nigeria, gave them seeds. I went to Arunachal Pradesh and gave them Chhattisgarh. UAE, we have gone there and given lectures, and of course those guys have sand only, but we are trying to develop even in sand with a little bit of humus, the green grass growing, we can start growing. In fact, we did experiments near Gunturu in the sand, we grew, and funnily, the yield of the foxtail millet increased to 1 more quintal. Instead of 10 quintals, you get 11 quintals. You give very little water. So these are the wonderful things that God has blessed us with. And millets are the food, millets were the food, millets would be the food for the future generations. And future generations can live with no diseases. Of course, we get 5% of hospital from accidents and all. We all have some stupid cars running around without knowing what we are doing, accidents occur. So all that we do need some hospital. I am not saying there is no need for hospitals. We do need doctors, but not the way that we are doing, because they are not curing anything, they are managing us. Type 1 diabetes is amazingly complicated. Do you have a mechanism we can play a video from YouTube? If you can see, there are hundreds of cases who have cured their type 1 diabetes, cancer, blood cancer, this cancer, autoimmune diseases. By just following the simple protocols, we have made list of protocols. We have been updating once in 2 years or so as we gain more and more data. Each and every protocol is tested on more than 1,000 cases. They have been completely happily living. And in fact, there is a small canteen opened on the road of Anantapuram to a small village called Kurugunta. Now they have registered more than 200 diabetic patients have cured eating in that canteen. And those canteen is run by single women who had diabetes, who participated in that 30-day experiment with us. And then we actually made that 8 acres, we paid some money to the owner, and they are now growing the millets, growing the vegetables, they make the food, and then they are treating, I shouldn't say treating, they are giving food, and these guys are getting well. So we can reach even the common man, I mean, the man at the end of the, where almost there is no help is there. You don't need anything. Basically, that means anyone and everyone can be all right. In fact, we have some incidents like a small girl of 7th class reading the protocol has healed her mother from uterus cancer, which was given up, that is, she's going to die in next 3 to 4 weeks. Now it's been 3 years. Now she's growing millets and making people fermented porridge and other things. So, and how to make food, how to make fermented porridge to restore your lost gut microbes. All this information is in the form of PDF, which you can download freely. There is no patent, there is no copyright, there is no copyleft. It's free. Just download, read the book 3 to 5 times, absorb the essence of it. Now if you ask, oh, you show me the protocol, only that much I will read the whole book, understand, and start doing what you require. Like you have autoimmune disease, you have a protocol for autoimmune disease. You have an autistic kid, you have a protocol for autism. You have hair loss, you have protocol for it. You are obese, you are not putting on weight. To put on weight, there is a protocol. All things can happen if you do things sincerely. Follow the protocols strictly. And I do not have time to talk about decoctions and other lifestyle changes that you need to make, but I still want to make one point That is nothing to do with food, but without which we cannot be healthy. And about decoctions and all, I'm sure there is a lot of information you can read. Some cancers associated with it. You are not going to be alright even if you do all the millets, all the kashayams, unless you are exposed to this wonderful early morning sun. And that we have actually grouped in general, Prabha. Prabha, many people have the word Prabha. Prabhas is the early sun. Then you have Ushas, Ushodaya, Prabhodaya, Ushodaya, Arunodaya, Suryodaya. So these 12 frequencies are grouped into 4 stages, each one comprising three frequencies. So Prabhas has certain wonderful act. And our eyes are not designed to see origin of light, but you can see the Arunodaya. So that Kashai, that ochre color we call, O-C-H-R-E, the Kashaya Rang, Kashaya Banna, that is orange color sun. That's because the Aruna is actually red. He is in our Purana say, he is the chariot person who is driver of the 7 horses in front. And so the Aruna red, actually the sun is very bright. So it is the introduction, the build-up is like that. So he is sitting and the white, unbearable light, that's how it becomes orange. So Prabhodaya, Ushodaya, Arunodaya, Suryodaya. And there are 12 names. In Surya Namaskara, if someone has got some yoga, there are 12 names. That's the mantra to chant. And then you go to Gayatri. So Surya Namaskara has to be performed then. But now we have Zoom yoga teachers teaching 12 o'clock noon in the AC rooms. That's the sad story. So that has got so many wonderful activating events happen when you see the morning sun, the circadian clock, the time that you need to sleep, time you need to wake. So the systems are in place. So you want help, go to Surya Namaskara. Without that, nothing happens. Nothing happens. And of course, there are 2 more things: how to shit, how to eat. How do you shit? You are shitting like that. And how do you eat? You are eating like that. The anus is half open, half closed in that posture. So when you eat, again I told you STP, you want to maintain that when you eat the biochemical reactions are proper, you want to close the anus. How do you close the anus? You are now sitting in Sukhasana. So you eat when you sit in your Sukhasana. Sukhasana means you are at ease. You are not, Sukha is not jai and who dance. No, that's not. Sukhasana means you are at ease. You are at ease. And when you are at ease, when you eat, you are going to be at ease. So that is the healthy posture to eat because you are closed down. Imagine when you are sitting in Sukhasana, you have to fart. What do? You do like that. Am I right? Right or wrong? Yeah, you can laugh, no problem. But it is very scientific that you eat when you sit. But now we are sitting on the chair and eating, and shitting on the chair and same posture, same commode. So you have half opened anus both times, which is very wrong. So how do you shit then? Your anus should be open completely. And there is a asana called Malasan. And just come that side and show you. So you balance your whole system on the toes. Actually, it's only 6 toes that you stand, and your buttocks are supported by the heels, and your anus is completely open. In no time, the bowels move, and you defill. This is the most scientific way of defilling. So simple. And not only that, it centers your nervous system. So if you practice this for 3 to 5 minutes, your mental attitude, mental disturbance, restlessness, everything vanishes in 3 to 4 weeks. We have healed many disturbed minds. Okay, Dr. Khadar showed this. Go and don't try it. You will fall flat, break your nose. Practice. Take a stool, hold it slowly and steadily. Do release and then do.
And the essential things, as you said, you don't go for the niceties, which is very good because truth has to be told, and then people have to be inspired to do the right things. So thanks again, and quickly we would like to thank Dr. Khadar garu for taking time and for his US visit and the visit to our very own San Ramon. Yeah, and so thanks a lot, Khadar garu, and also Raj Chappadi garu from Houston. He is a strong pillar in making all of these things happen, and all the arranges for the travel itinerary and everything. And of course, our Sudhindra from Organic Sphere. So he gets all the like pure, very well made, all the seeds and everything from India directly, including the bull ribbon oils. And then so he's wonderful. Get on to organicsphere.com
Organicsphere.io.
Okay, organicsphere.io, and then we'll put the link in our groups. Also, Deepa Kapadia garu. So she has been Divya Kapadia, and then she has been a great inspiration. She arranged for the talk last time when Khadar was there.
Okay, let's start with yours. What's your question?
No. Don't be. Let everyone sit. Make it proper. Let everyone get the answers.
My question might be silly.
It doesn't matter.
Sit. Ready?
You can announce in the mic.
Make things properly. Knowing that we have a question and answer session after this Mahanglarti, why did you remove your?
So guys, the question and answer is starting right now. Can you please?
You just go outside and
Okay, call them. Yes, please.
ask loudly. Let everyone.
Yeah. Nisha ma'am, go ahead and ask. Sit down.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Ayurveda it says that you should start your meal with something sweet, right? And should not eat it later. It kind of ferments the food. I want to understand, is it true?
You start with sweet. What sweet? Not the sugar.
Yeah.
There's called madhu. That is fructose based sweets. You could have a sweet fruit, small amount chikku or sitapal or jackfruit, or if we don't get all that, there is what is called jaggery, that palm jaggery. You start small piece in the mouth. That's where your pancreas and other carbohydrate digesting enzymes get initiated. That is the reason why they ask you to start your meal with that. And there is nothing like fermentation. Inside the body, fermentation doesn't happen. So the food you cook and don't keep overnight because pathogenic bacteria can take over. So as immediately after you cook, if the watery porridge is there, you tie in a mud pot correctly. 8 hours later it gets fermented and the microbes come in. And if you keep it later than that, then that starts going down. So you do not eat anything beyond 16 hours from soaking to eating. So you want to make fermented porridge, soak at 6 a.m., cook at 1 a.m., eat by 8 a.m. And beyond that, the fermentation gets over fermented, you should not eat.
Eat by 8 p.m., right?
Yeah. So people generally what they do, whatever is remaining, they add water and leave it for 16 hours. And that is not what you are supposed to eat. That's what Ayurveda clearly mentions. So, but ambali fermented porridge procedure, if you look at, everything should happen in 16 to 18 hours. So if it crosses beyond 24 hours, you're in a dark, you're in red zone.
Okay.
So if you go beyond 24 hours after cooking, it is not right.
Okay.
And that's what Ayurveda talks about.
Okay.
Have I answered?
But eating like suppose right now there are two millets. One is sweet pongal, other one is.
Yeah, make with the same
so
millet.
Eat together is fine.
Yeah, eat same millet. Same millet you
Same
make.
millet,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine,
But
no problem.
eating, one is salty, one is sweet.
Yeah, that's
You
okay.
add
No,
eating
Shadruchis.
into and it's
No,
fine.
your question is silly. Though you told that it is silly, you can eat taste, 6 tastes you can combine any way you like.
Okay.
Sweet, bitter, sour, salty, spicy, that all these 6 tastes can be combined the way you want.
Okay.
And you can combine only 2 tastes, you can combine 1 taste. That about taste, again, it's a different story. So there is nothing not to combine. It's actually, if you can combine creatively, it is very good for you. So spices, all these flavors are creating various kinds of spectrum of taste, but there are basic 6 tastes. So someone may like sour, someone may like khatta, someone may like
That is.
that's fine.
basically-
Meetha, no problem.
Yeah, nutritional wise.
Yeah, not nutrition. Taste has nothing to do with nutrition.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
So we have Suganti next question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, I started my
Come in the front.
You'll get recorded. Your question will get recorded.
yeah. So I started my millet journey in 2010. Way before I know you, through my this thing traditional grandfather and some other gurus, right? 2013, I was sincerely following millet, but I know what to eat. At that time, I did not know how to eat, like the ambali, right? Like you said, you also touched that point, like gut problem. I ran into some problems, and I checked with a couple of the Siddha doctors. They said I started getting the black lines here and there. I started getting blacking, so it's a nutrition deficiency. That's what he said. Then you have to eat more. Like I can eat more. That's why I switched to millet. 2016, I came to know about ambali. So that's when we had the seminars and then Zoom calls. That's when I came to know that ambali is the right form to eat. I think between 2015. So since then, I started eating only ambali. I don't cook anything else, but I cook only ambali every day. One meal, only ambali. One meal salad. That's all I'm eating.
Suganti,
So
question please.
yeah, that's the background of the question. So the question is this good form of continuing, or is there going to be a nutrition deficiency problem? So far I'm good, I'm safe, but I really wanted to check with you. Is there something else I need to add to my diet? I eat only salad and one ambali. That's all I eat per day. Deficiency. I don't
Are
have to worry
you
about.
changing the grain?
Yes, every 2 days I change the millet. That's all. And then every night I eat with some sabji, some curry. And afternoon I eat only salad. Morning I start with kashayam and then go for some fruit salad. Fruit means like one fruit, not too many fruits, kind of. Is that okay, or do I have to change something to add more vitamins or nutrients?
No,
What are
no,
they
no.
called?
All vitamins, all proteins, all minerals, everything is there in these 5 grains.
Okay.
You are rotating, you have all the grains, 5 grains is good. And if you are not harboring any sickness, like you are diabetic, thyroid, this and that, I would also request you to add the neutral grains.
Okay.
The pearl millet, ragi,
Okay.
all these things are
Okay.
also have some wonderful nutritional values.
Okay.
Though they don't have the capacity to clean your body,
Okay.
but these wonderful minor millets have all the capacity to clean your body.
Okay.
So, nutrient wise, cleaning wise, if you go through these 10 grains,
Yes, I do.
and I actually, if you are above 45, 50, it's good to keep yourself more in the minor millet zone.
Okay.
Now and then you can have maybe 10 to 20% of your whole monthly quota should include maybe 10 to 20% of major millet.
Major millet. So that's all I need to add.
Yeah, that is the question, and there is no need to add anything anymore. And if you are comfortable eating one meal in the morning, and many people eat in the afternoon, because we are now trained breakfast, lunch, dinner. There is nothing like that actually. You have one meal in the morning when the sun rises, maybe half an hour this side, that side. No, like imagine you are going somewhere, you can eat even before the sun rise, half an hour, and then be done with your food. And you can get used to after sunrise 1 or 2 hours. So practically for me it works around 8:30 I eat my meal, and then I forget about food till next day. And sometimes if I don't get food, I can continue till the next day evening. In fact, I can continue for another 3 days. Nothing happens because we have enough muscle, enough thing left, and it's good once in a while to do that upavas, because you asked the question,
Yes,
is it?
yes.
So add upavas, the cleaning happens better.
Okay.
Though millet food, these grains have wonderful fiber, they clean, but beyond that, the body itself initiates what is called in the so-called modern scientific term autophagy. AUTOFAGY. In fact, recently one of the scientists got a Nobel Prize for that, which our ancestors said long ago. Anyway, that's a different story.
Right.
So, upavas on Ekadasi day, now and then, is a good thing for you to add.
Okay. One sub question, because you asked me to add ragi jowar along with this. If I'm eating brown top millet that day, can I eat ragi on the same day?
You eat one day ragi.
Okay, add that also in the sequence.
Say in the sequence.
Add those millets. Okay.
Yeah, once in 2 months you can have ragi one day.
Okay, got it.
Instead of this rotating 5 days.
Okay.
And then after another 2 months, yeah.
Okay.
So neutral millet only for
1 or 2 days, what? Convenience, no?
Yeah.
Whatever.
No,
I think that's another
one last question to this question. So that nutrient
Because if I allow, you keep having only Sugandha will be keeping on. Others are also have to ask.
Sir, my question is, my main concern is why the children, especially in USA, they suffer from so many allergies like nut allergy, pollen allergy and all. So, is it because of they have low immunity here? Like,
Yeah, you are
okay,
generating
maybe-
low immunity. Because in America, things are not...
When I come to USA, I didn't know about all these allergies. I know only about the brinjal, only the few people in India. But why here the children...
Yeah, they are allergy for everything.
Like,
Because
is
you
it
are not eating right. You are
Maybe
eating
it
too
was
much
from-
sugar,
from
too much
village
meat.
lifestyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So give them ambali to start with. They will start falling in place.
So is that true for acne also?
Yeah, for everything.
Ambali for acne also, for teenagers.
Ambali is your doctor within. He knows where is what going on. So he will start coordinating everything. So ambali is your doctor within. So don't leave ambali. Whatever you do, at least once a day, take ambali, you are good to go.
Khadar, I'll ask a question on behalf of a bunch of many.
No,
have
on
actually
behalf
asked
you ask.
Actually, this everyone wants to know. Just as you found a few kashayas and leaves that can be in America that you can
Yeah.
procure, they also want to know how food can be put in the fridge and then reheated.
No. That's why I said start working in kitchen. Make your food, and I'm asking you to make only once. You don't need to go on feeding your people every 2 hours. This is once. After 6 weeks, everyone you feed them well once in the morning, they will not bother you about food. I'm not joking. That's it, period, for the day. And whatever little remaining, you, as she said, salad, this and that, manage it.
Added to that, you have mentioned some decoctions.
Yeah.
Those leaves are available in US.
Most of them.
Some of the leaves, I think, if you have
Very
done that
few,
group-
very few are not.
Okay.
He sent one list of US
US,
local
okay.
leaf group. I will send it.
My personal experience with bay leaf, bay patri, I
By
tried.
the way, is
Yeah,
it a separate
My
outfit? Most of
A1C
them can
went
do.
down.
Yeah, all are great.
If you
One question. So is it healthy for someone?
You are
to-
related to Sugandhi?
No, only one question.
Yeah,
No
I
more
just
question.
want to be
Yeah,
careful.
only one question. So if a person is having only one meal a day, and if they do not have any grains but only fruits and steamed vegetables,
No, it doesn't work. After a few months, you will fall sick.
fall sick.
Grains are the ones, and it is not sustainable. Where do you get that kind of
No,
vegetable?
just asking. whether
Just
it's
I'm
healthy or
telling.
not.
I'm not joking. It's very serious problem. People are nowadays, I will eat only vegetables, I will only eat fruits. It's not sustainable, and enough nutrition is not there in any fruit or any vegetable. It's not going to work out after a few, means people who are sick may go on to a fruit diet, they may start feeling better, but after 6 months, you are going to fall flat.
Yes. To extend the question that you mentioned about Upavasam, here like it is becoming a fad, like having intermittent fasting.
Yeah, that's not right. It's not scientific because,
So 16 hours.
yeah, that's nonsense. There is nothing like 16-hour not eating and remaining 8 hours keep eating. That's wrong.
So 2 meals a day with a 16-hour gap may not be.
That's not right at all. Not right at all. Actually, it is the 12 hours in the night. You cannot consider that you are fasting. And that is the problem with intermittent fasting. It's only your 4 hours you are not eating. No, it doesn't happen. Autophagy happens after 36 hours.
Ekadashi fasting.
Yeah, Ekadashi fasting is the real scientific fasting. That's what I mentioned. This intermittent fasting is not scientific. It may give you some results, quick results when you are sick, like you are fat, you are diabetic. Some results it will give you. But over a longer period, it is not sustainable. And you should not be fasting. We are supposed to eat. Fasting is cleaning process. Once in a while you do. If you are eating wrong food also, by fasting you can clean. And Vratka Chawal in India is Sama or Jingora, that is barnyard. So even that they have already told you, please eat this.
So for a 45-year-old, like, so, I mean, who is mostly not doing much physical work. So
Who is doing physical work?
I'm just saying that I'm not doing it.
I want to know who is doing physical work.
So 2 meals is okay to do eat, like, or 1 meal is also sufficient.
No, it's a process. Don't jump to 1 meal a day. It's to be. I have been doing it long time. So I eat 3 times also. When I go out, some people now you gave me. Then I go. They will also ask me to eat. So I eat little bit. But generally my meal is in the morning and I'm done. And if I get food a little bit, just for social obligations, I take. Otherwise, I don't need to eat. I just carry a water bottle and keep drinking water most often. Yeah, that's it. And I am doing good. I mean, I am 66 years old. I have not seen any doctor even once. And in 1975, I climbed Chamundi in 29 minutes. And recently, I climbed in 29 minutes 30 seconds. So it's after 45 years.
So what do you eat in the morning?
I eat
The millets.
millets.
Just only the millets?
Yes, nothing else.
Nothing else.
No, I eat vegetables, everything. I'm a very good cook.
Oh yeah, he was cooking when I went to his house.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I came to Mysore. I saw
Yeah.
you were cooking and
Yeah.
you came out.
Yeah, generally me and my wife keep fighting in the kitchen.
Sir, one question about like why.
Last question.
The last question for
For you, others can answer.
So I think it will be helpful for others to like why we cannot eat the 2 millets on the same day. Any
Yeah, the reason is this, that you have different millets having different nature of the fiber, cleaning different parts of your body. Now, you mix kodo and foxtail millet. Kodo cleans your bone marrow and blood. Foxtail millet cleans your lungs and nervous system. Now I mix both of them. Now the fiber content, you cannot eat, you will eat the same amount, isn't it? I mean, little bit this side, that side. So now we have reduced the fiber in the foxtail millet to half, kodo millet to half. Now the cleaning of kodo millet part is done half. This half. Now imagine this multi-millet fellows. All this mix everything. Because actually it is a business model. Because there are flour mills which process all 5 and at the end of the day they have 1 ton of this multi-millet flour lying down. So they want to get rid of it. They say, Khadar said, this is good, that is good, this is good. They are mixing, this is very good. And then you have multi-millet mix, they are actually putting my photo and then say this is very good. Then you take. And then what happens? Now you are having each and every organ getting 1/5 of the fiber. That means no organ is cleaned. That's why you do not mix millets. The same thing goes to lentils. Because lentils have got different kinds of proteins. Moong dal is different protein. Chana dal. No, they have their specific arrangement. So it has its own capacity to help you in some particular fashion. And the fiber in, little bit fiber in the dals. Not very much because you are removing the husk and then eating. So that also has to help you. So you can mix millet and then 1 lentil. And not 20 lentils. And then the whole thing, the problem is with people, they don't exercise their brain. 1 millet, maximum price is 200. When they mix 4 or 5 and they say kg is 500. But they are giving you 1 kilo only. So why to go and buy that? That's why I said go to kitchen. If you want to mix also, you take this and mix and it will be still 100 rupees only, no? But don't mix and eat. The logic and science is that. But why do you want to buy this mix? Because this is processed food and you are all brainwashed. Everything ready to eat. 2 minutes. This is nonsense. And unscientific.
On a related note, right? So let's say in a family like of grandparents and 3 generations, elderly parents have some hypertension kind of issues and maybe somebody has a hypothyroid and rest of them normal. How do you cook or?
It's very easy. Just take 5 grains, 2 days rotation.
Do we have to follow any protocols?
This is the protocol for the family. So all the problems will be attended to. But decoctions, you take individuals. That's a good question.
Sir, in the disease protocol, you have decoctions and the rotation of the millets, right? So for the decoction, like if you don't get the leaves that are mentioned, and
whatever leaves you are getting, keep rotating and try to get the leaves that are not there for you.
But the local...
yeah, local.
That is okay also?
Yeah, yeah.
You recommended Parijat for some of the kashayas.
Yeah, especially Parijat, Amrutpal, that is Goa, and then people. These 3 are for all the cancer patients.
So is the regular jasmine leaves also same
No,
properties as
no,
Parijat?
no. It's a very specific
So
for
I know
cancer.
a lot of us will be happy.
We ordered a lot of jasmine trees in the gardening group, so everybody has a jasmine.
People, Parijat and...
People, Parijat and Goa.
Guava is easily available.
No, all the 3 are available.
For us to grow at home is
Yeah, it's very easy.
They don't survive the winter for us here.
No, you can keep some of them in your house, near the windows. Yeah, if you do want, go to Raj Chapdi. Everything is there.
He grows everything. He's an amazing gardener. Raj Chapdi, the long hair.
But he's in Houston, right?
Hopefully he'll ship
No,
it.
we can actually ship it. I can get it from him and ship
So you have a question, right? Yeah.
I know you mentioned A1 and A2 milk constitution, but I didn't really understand this well. What's the difference between those 2, and is there a better alternative to?
Yeah, no one need to have any animal milk. There is no need.
So we can drink almond milk from
Yeah, you can have almond milk if it is organic. Oat milk if you have organic. Okay, and A1, A2 is actually a lot more science you need to know. The animal protein has a sequence of amino acid sequences. So in A1, they have actually changed at 209. One particular amino acid is removed and another amino acid is crept in, okay, by genetic modification. And that's one change, and then it is made to give more milk because of injections and other things. So the residues of these processes are coming into the milk, and that's what is disturbing most of the cycles of the women. The periodicity of menstruation, all that is disturbed because they are dependent on the minute micro balance of the hormones. So that's why we call taking milk is the source of hormonal imbalance and related diseases. So like endometriosis, PCOD, not having proper time in the periods, 15 days once you have periods, or if you don't get periods at all these issues are connected to hormone imbalance. And many girls having acne on their face, it's because they have problem with their ovaries, not releasing the ovum in the right time, and all these issues are connected to the milk. So if women stop taking milk, 75% of their problems vanish away in 75 days, period. So you don't need all these doctors.
So in that case, we should not eat yogurt also.
Fermented milk is okay. Yogurt, no, because yogurt is a frozen fermentation process. Because yogurt is not... Homemade curds is okay. Yogurt is not...
Like a curd.
No, I wanted to make you sure what is difference between yogurt and curds. Curds is live. Yogurt is frozen. I mean, they add some chemical because it tastes the same anywhere and everywhere. The curds in your own house, if you wait for 1 more hour, it is different.
But if we cannot use milk, so how can we use curd? How can we make
That's why it is fermenting, na?
Oh, that's why.
The fermentation removes all the animal nature. Homemade curd is okay, correct. Okay, I'm not saying go and eat curds. You're insisting, you do not want let go of milk, You're torturing the cow, that you should understand. You are supposed to leave the milk for the calf, not for you. See, all these questions are based around milk. You are not talking about the calf. The milk is given for the calf, not for you.
The dairy also has a A2 grass-fed milk group.
Yeah, whatever. Don't take the milk. You can take the buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
Yeah. That way you can conserve, because one cow's, after feeding the baby, you take that left out milk, 10 people can have buttermilk. Because even 100 ml curds, you can make churn and make buttermilk.
Did you say to avoid dairy products altogether?
Yeah, the best thing is to do that. Why torture them? Why torture yourself?
So the yogurt, making the yogurt vanishes.
Don't touch yogurt. It's bogus.
I mean, yogurt in the sense the homemade curd.
Homemade curd. Yeah, it gives you one of the lactobacillus
Yes.
in your tummy. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
So it takes off all the chemicals from the hormones.
Not chemicals. The animal protein is converted.
Okay.
So chemicals, some of the chemicals are dangerous. Nothing can be done.
Okay. So they inject the hormones like.
Yeah, that's
So
what
that will be gone.
That not gone. If it is A1 milk, it's
I'm talking about A2.
A2 milk. There nothing. You are not injecting anything. No? It is natural.
Oh, A2 is natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you, it became A1 and we became A2.
Boss Indicross.
Yeah, forget about milk. Don't torture the cows.
She is not asked a question.
Yeah, please.
Why are some of the millets high in, how does it affect the glycemic indexes more in some of them?
No, forget about glycemic index. It's a wrong concept. You see, what is glycemic? You have take rice and add some fiber, its glycemic index is different. That's not the way it works. You have to release the glucose slowly and steadily into the bloodstream. That is the standard. So actually that can be done by what is called renal tolerance test. So if a grain is releasing glucose slowly and steadily, after you eat, or drink the porridge, within 1 hour you see glucose spike in your urine. That's called renal tolerance test. So if your grain is releasing all the glucose suddenly into the bloodstream like rice and wheat, you will see RTT failing every time when you take rice and wheat. It doesn't happen with these grains which have got high percentage of fiber contents like foxtail millet, minor millets. So the RTT test is very positive because you don't see glucose spike. Whereas with neutral millets like ragi, proso, you do see glucose spike, but not as fast as you see with rice and wheat. It delayed for another 1 hour. So that's the actually test what we did for the labeling. Positive millets, positive grains, neutral grains and negative grains. And that's the way the book also we have mentioned. You got your answer. And it depends on the nature of the fiber and the content of the fiber.
One question came up just now. Somebody was saying they started eating millets and they had diarrhea. Couple of millets, foxtail millet and little millet, and they started having diarrhea.
I know
and
that.
They stopped eating millets after that.
Yeah, but they didn't do the things properly. First thing is that there may be a shipping problem with the millet which harbored. Many times many people have diarrhea when they eat. Even if you're regular food, once in a while you get diarrhea. You've gone to a marriage and then you eat the same chitrana, same thing, you still get diarrhea. Some people get diarrhea on that day, some people don't. So that's not the way. You start with millet ambali to start and you should persist.
I have a question. I asked this before to you personally, but I think everybody might benefit from this. I was just wondering, for college kids with no access to kitchen, what tips can you give us to help prepare our kids?
Remove them from that college.
So that's not an option. Here they have to stay in dorm for 2 years.
Yeah, at least keep educating them. As soon as they come out of the college, let them start eating millets. That means what can you do if there is no option? Or go to the hostel fellows and educate them so that they give millet food. Just like the temple can start giving millet prasadam.
Yeah, see, my kids, they stay in the dorm with my kids. So after they come back, we have only millets. So she's my daughter. And she's my daughter.
So I have a question.
No, I think it's your job and responsibility to change the institutions also. Educating them. In fact, I have already gone more than 2,600 colleges and telling everyone. At least they should know that it can be done. And this is the beginning of millet journey for the human race. I mean, all over the world, I am the first one to start. So all these challenges are there. And I alone cannot do it. I might have been the first one to start, but then everyone has to take it as their responsibility. But for future generations, it's our job and duty to do things.
I think we have the last question here.
Yeah. So follow up to that. Now I see so many shops selling this millet biscuits, millet noodles, ragi noodles, this noodle, that noodle.
Yeah, they are mixing and doing things. It's business.
So I know, but then can these kids take those noodles and all those stuff?
Maybe better than eating atta maida noodles. I'm not for it. Yeah, it's a process. So better than eating.
Check with the supplier, like global, if it's...
And I don't like food being processed, even if it is millet food. So, and I think it's a mental dimension that the human race has to get back to kitchens. So I am Puritan in that sense, that processed food is not good, because in this things that to be kept on shelf, you have done a lot of processing.
So if you want to make fresh millet noodles, there is recipes.
Recipes are there in Millet Magic, Dr. Sarala.
Yeah, a lot of recipes are there. But if you want the millet, whatever millet noodles that you buy, including ragi, millet noodles, any millet noodles.
You
any
watch
brand,
the ingredients.
it will have 30-35% is wheat flour because we have not figured out a way to make noodles without adding a binding force, that is gluten, that is your.
No, there are methods we have done, colocasia, a lot of things. It has, see the problem is it has to be processed and then it has come to the market. It will take some time.
It has become a big business, this.
Yeah, sir, we are in business economic model. So it's a different dimension we are talking. It's not simple thing. So first let us change one dimension of food. Then the market economy to ecological cooperative societies, markets, it's another dimension which is much more difficult. Because this I am telling, just going into kitchen we can change. We don't need to worry about the markets and this and that. So there are many steps and many layers to our existence. So you don't bother about all that. Simple thing is go to kitchen, get your grains, cook, and you only have to cook once, eat well in the morning, and then forget about food and do something else.
Do the millet grains go rancid?
Rancid?
Yeah.
No, generally not. If you have the husk, they can be for 7 years, 10 years, no
So we
problem.
don't have to worry about the ones selling in the stores. Sometimes we don't know if they will.
Yeah, you see, especially right now, there may be that problem because shipping from India comes in ship, takes 3 months, and then they have packed well or not packed well. Some companies might pack well, sometimes may not pack well. So rancid things can come, and that may be the reason why some of the people who used millets at that batch might have caused that problem. So rancid is basically the oils that are there, little oils in any grain start going bad, and that's what the grain becomes rancid. And rice and wheat, it doesn't happen. That's what actually the problem. People don't understand these things. Rice and wheat are processed. They can never ever get any rancid because they are spraying chemicals like mad. And all the process, the polished rice, while polishing, they have got a nice thin coat of pesticides and whatnot. So you will say, I ate rice, nothing happened to me. I ate millets, oh, I got loose motions. Yeah, possibility is there because this is what is happening. And the processing of millets, and if you get into the same kind of processes, you will also not get any time loose motion because you have again sprayed the chemical. So you are entering into a different kind of problems. So that's why I said, please get grains and get into your kitchen.
If I may add, buy my grains.
Made into flour,
Yeah.
it will go rancid.
No, we would like to know where it's available and how to get that.
Yeah, locally right now, limited availability is there in Lemon Hat app for local folks. Lemon Hat app for just the Bay Area folks.
Okay.
But if they run out of stock, then we can ship it from Houston for you guys.
Oh, lemon hat.
Lemon Hat is an app for the local folks.
Again, can you
For the
tell
millets, right?
which website to go to order from Organic Sphere?
For local Bay Area folks, it's Lemon Hat app on your mobile, Organic Sphere store, and you can order only millets right now. That's what is available in stock. If you want to order oils and everything else, then we have organicsphere.io. That is a website where we have it in Houston and I ship it from there.
Have you experienced any rancid problems that they mentioned?
We used to do it in when I started 6 years back.
And this is toddy palm jaggery. So the sweet tooth fellows can use. Even if you are diabetic, once in 3 days you can have kheer out of this. You will be okay. Yeah, the sweet that you ate today, tati bellam.
This silver date palm jaggery.
No,
Date palm
this
jaggery.
is date palm jaggery.
Tati bellam ante the regular karupati, that is
Toddy palm is
that's a
different from
variety.
date
This is
palm.
silver date palm jaggery. Right now only me.
Oh, okay.
It's available in every Indian grocery store here. You've not been there. Listen.
We haven't seen.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, just
No, no, Tati Bellam
Can we
is,
close and we have to travel?
Tati Bellam is available everywhere. Silver Dead Tom Jaggery is only available with me.
Thank you.
that's what he said. I'm sorry. That's
Can I
what
ask one question?
Okay, thanks everyone, and thanks Khadar.
Share it, share it.
Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, share and don't forget to subscribe our channel Dr. Khadar Lifestyle. Press the below bell icon to get notifications.